Hello everyone, welcome back to the Young Fan Podcast and welcome to the prediction and preview episode of the podcast where we look ahead of tomorrow evening's games in Sky Bet League One. Some huge games, currently Monday as of recording. We're looking ahead of some incredible, crucial games in this League One season. I cannot wait for it. If you're enjoying the content at the moment, if it's the first time watching this podcast, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell as well. That way you'll never miss an episode of the podcast. You'll always be notified when I go live or the recorded episode just like this one. We're on a really, really long journey to 1,000 subscribers, but it can be made much shorter by you helping me out, hitting that subscribe button. It really would mean the world. Lots of content coming this week. Lots of content's been happening recently as well, and you seem to be enjoying it. The support on them has been absolutely phenomenal, so thank you so much for that. I love every single one of you. Let's get straight into it with the first game as we look into this incredible set of fixtures. A full schedule on a Tuesday night. You love to see it. So the first game then, we've got Sunderland against Burton Albion. I've changed the predictions episode just a little bit because I want to have a look at the bookies' favourites. You can see here, Sunderland are 7-10, and that's a 59% chance of winning. The actual odds when they are like that is 58% chance of a team winning. For Burton, they're 4-1, and they've got a 20% chance of winning. So you can see there, Sunderland are the favourites. They are the bookies' favourites for this game. Now, in terms of league position, that's probably fair. In terms of home advantage, that's also probably fair as well. But I want to have a look at the recent form for both of these sides and how important this game is for both sides as well. Now, in terms of Sunderland and what they're trying to do, they are the favourites, we've just seen there when it comes down to the bookies. But I mean, Sunderland aren't in great form at all. They really, really are struggling. And they find themselves in a position at the moment where they need to sort themselves out. And Tuesday's a really, really, I wouldn't say, I mean, it's a good opportunity to do so. It's certainly not an easy opportunity, but like I said, no game in League One's easy, and we've seen that. And there's a lot of examples of why that is such a strong statement. But it's a good chance on Tuesday. It's a good chance at home. They need to turn things around. And for Burton, like I said, you look at the two sets of form for both sides. I mean, Burton just slightly edge it. Both teams aren't in the most brilliant form. We look at those last 5 games. But Sunderland, like I said, they're not in great form at all. They really do need to sort themselves out. If they want to get back into the playoffs after, obviously, their defeat to MK Dons on Saturday, saw them drop out of the top 6. They want to try and get back in that top 6. The game on Tuesday, tomorrow night against Burton is going to be crucial in their hunt to do so. Like I said, the form isn't good enough, but they can get back on track on Tuesday. That's going to be crucial as they sort of attempt to get back into that promotion contention. They are already in contention, of course they are, but in terms of serious promotion contention in those playoff places, the first time this season, I think I'm right in saying, the first time this season, it was they haven't been in the top 6. So really, really important to get back into that top 6. Like I said, it's not going to be easy Tuesday night because, like I said, Burton have got real quality and they've proven that this season. They're 12th in the league. They're exactly mid-table, but they're a very, very good side. They've proved a lot of upsets, if you like, with other teams this season and got some really good results against some top sides this season. So they're certainly not going to be a walkover, like no team in this league. It's going to be really, really interesting, though, as we head into this game. For Sunderland, it's massive. For Burton, it's also really quite significant as well. But my prediction for this game is, I think Sunderland are going to get back on track. I just got a feeling that Sunderland are going to get their first win under Alex Neil on Tuesday night. I'm going to go with Sunderland 2, Burton Albion 0. I think Sunderland have got what it takes to get back to winning ways on Tuesday night. I'm going to go with Sunderland 2, Burton Albion 0. Next then, we've got Cambridge United against Plymouth Argyle. Then Cambridge are currently sat in 14th in the league. Of course, a win on Saturday. And for Plymouth, they're on a fantastic run of form at the moment. 4 straight wins, of course, coming into this game. Exactly the same as their opposition, Cambridge, with a win on the Saturday last weekend. So really, really, really going to be quite a fascinating game as two sides come against each other with confidence after victories on Saturday. Like I said, Plymouth on a little bit of a longer run of victories. You talk about 4 games, straight wins, 5th in the league in those playoff placements. So impressive this season in League One. So doing a really, really good job as they continue their hunt to finish in that top 6. Doing a really good job of it at the moment, of course. Cambridge, newly promoted side, and obviously are doing really, really well this season for a side getting into League One after their promotion last season. A lot of people predicted them to get relegated. I think I was one of those that certainly thought they were going to be in more of a relegation battle or a relegation battle, not in one at all. I'd say I don't think they've got to worry about that at all. 10 points they're safe from relegation. So they're doing a fantastic job of that, proving to be a really, really difficult side to play against this season. Now look at the bookies at the moment as well. Cambridge United are 21-10. There's a 32% chance of winning. Plymouth are 13-10. They've got a 43% chance of winning. Now, really quite interestingly, you look at the highlighted percentage next to it. It says, but this team actually wins 47% of matches with these odds. So Cambridge and Plymouth with the odds as well, they win 55% of the time. So both of them have got an increased chance of winning when those odds are like that. So they're going to be really, really quite interesting. Both of those percentages really quite close to each other. It's going to be a really quite tight game. I don't think we needed the bookies to find that out. I think we knew, looking at sides with Cambridge being at home, but Plymouth really, really knocking on the door of staying in that playoff places and in those top six. I think it's going to be a really, really quite interesting game. I'm going to go the draw in this one. I really, really am. I'm going to go with Cambridge United 2, Plymouth Argyle 2. A 2-2 draw. Both sides like to score goals. I'm going to go with 2-2 in this game. Next then we've got Rotherham United against Morecambe. Rotherham, of course, are first in the league. Lead leaders, 6 points clear at the top of the League One table. Morecambe, a little bit lower in that relegation zone, 21st in the league. Both sides, either end of that League One table. Let's have a look at those odds and a look at the bookies' favourites. Who do they see as the favourites? I think it's fairly clear who they've put there. They haven't even given Morecambe's odds. I don't think that's for any reason, but I just don't think they've done it. In terms of the winning odds then for Rotherham United, when the odds are 9-25 like they are for this game, the expected chance of winning is 74%. But this team actually wins 99% of their matches when they have these odds. It's clear to see Rotherham are very, very significant favourites in this game. I don't think we really need to see the odds to do that. Doesn't mean Morecambe are out of a contest. They really can surprise. They've got some top quality players and they are performing fairly well this season, not having the worst season in the world. Cole Stockton, of course, doing a really good job up front. He's got a lot of goals for Morecambe this season. Without him, I think it could be in a really, really quite different season for Morecambe. I think Rotherham have got a really, really good chance of winning at home. League leaders, like I've already said. The odds definitely towards the size of Rotherham United. I'm going to go with a comfortable Rotherham win here. I'm going to go with Rotherham 3, Morecambe 0. Next then we've got Crewe, Alexandra against Oxford United. I don't like predicting my own team, but we've got to do it. Oxford United, of course, coming to this game with a brilliant win on Saturday. They beat Charlton 4-0. Certainly not a result I was expecting, but so happy that saw us fall out of the playoffs after a defeat to Bolton the week before. And then that really, really important win on Saturday saw us back into the top six. We're now sat in fourth, only a point keeps us in fourth, and only a point keeps us in the playoffs. That's how tight it is around the top six position, but we're back in there, and that's all that matters. As for Crewe, bottom of the league, 22 points this season out of 32 games. Have lost their last 5 games on the trot. It's not a season that Crewe are probably enjoying, to say the least. But it's certainly not going to be an easy game for Oxford. I think we've lost games this season away from home, and even at home, in which we probably should be getting points at, especially away from home. We've dropped some silly points. Look at the start of the season, even recently to Accrington, who aren't to the level of Crewe, I wouldn't say, but and Accrington are a good side and have performed and got some really good points against some top sides in this league. But away from home, we lost to 2-0 last week. Awful performance, awful result as well. And, just like that, you're losing games in which you should be winning. So we know that there's no guarantee, and that's almost the beauty of League One. There's no guarantee at all. And, although it's very frustrating, it literally could prove to be any sort of result. In terms of the favourites, it does see Oxford United favourites. When the odds are 72, as they are for Crewe for this game, the expected chance of winning is 22%. But this team's actual chance is 20% of... they actually win 20% of the time. They actually win much lower. The chance of winning is much lower with those odds. For Oxford, when the odds are 45, as they are in this game, the expected chance of winning is 56%. This team actually wins 89% of the match with these odds. So Oxford are clear favourites in this game. As you can imagine, fourth in the league against bottom of the league. You would hope that Oxford are favourites, but like I said, no guarantee at all. Away from home, a Tuesday night. Sometimes we can really we really need to be at our best, and even in these sort of games, you really need to bring the top level performance that we've seen from Oxford so much of the season. I do think, though, we're going to win the game. As much as I hope we're also going to win the game as well. I'm going to go with Crewe 0, Oxford United 2. 2-0 away from home. Another clean sheet would be really nice. We've been sort of waiting for clean sheets. We had to wait till Saturday when we beat Charlton 4-0. Another clean sheet. Back it up with a clean sheet. Be really, really good. But yeah, I'm going to go Crewe 0, Oxford United 2. Next then we've got Gillingham against AFC Wimbledon, both sides at the bottom end of the League One table. AFC Wimbledon are sat in 20th in the league, 31 points. A bit of inconsistency and negative inconsistency in the last 5 games. They've drawn, lost 2, drawn, lost again. They really need to start getting some points and they want to try and get themselves out of this relegation battle they currently find themselves in. They're not in the relegation zone yet, but of course they're only not in there by 1 point, and that's Morecambe. Of course, we've already mentioned them being in 21st. Gillingham, though, they are in the relegation zone, 22nd in the league, lost their last game, 26 points. They really do need to sort of try and get themselves out of this situation. 5 points they are away from safety. This game is massive for Gillingham. In terms of a relegation 6-pointer, this has got this game written all over it. You talk about a side and both sides trying to get themselves out of the situation they currently find themselves in. Gillingham probably slightly more desperate. Them being the home side, it's going to be really, really quite fascinating. So important for both of these sides. Interested to see these odds as well. And the odds are 8-5 as they are for Gillingham. The expected chance of winning is 38%. But this team actually wins 36% of their matches with these odds. When the odds are 9-5, the expected chance of winning is 36%. But this team actually wins 50% of their matches. So for Wimbledon, when the odds are like this, they have a 50% chance of winning. It could go one way, it could go the other. It does see, though, Wimbledon slight favourites in this game. Really, really quite interesting. It says Gillingham. Gillingham favourites in this game as well. I think it probably will be that home advantage that's seeing them sort of maybe get themselves into sort of the favourite category down to the bookies. But it's only going to be interesting. And talk about a relegation 6-pointer. I think this game really is just that, very important for both sides on Tuesday night. I'm going to go with the home win. I'm going to go with Gillingham to win this game 2-1. It's going to be really, really quite tight. Two sides that need to get the points. 2-1 to Gillingham. That's going to put AFC Wimbledon in a bit more set of bother. But I'm going to go with Gillingham 2, AFC Wimbledon 1. Next then we've got Shrewsbury Town as they face Portsmouth. Let's have a look at the league table first. Portsmouth certainly sat in 11th, 2 wins on the bounce now for Pompey. For Shrewsbury though, a loss on Saturday was a bit at the end of a run of draws they're currently having. They're currently sat in 18th at the moment. I wouldn't say they are in a relegation battle. 4 points away from 21st, of course. So they've got 4 points, I guess, on the team in the relegation zone. So it does sort of technically see them in a relegation battle. I don't think they will go down though. It was only points really that's suggesting they're in such a relegation battle. This game though is going to be really quite interesting. Portsmouth issues this season has been their inconsistencies. We thought of expected them maybe to be much closer to the playoffs than they actually are. They're not due to that inconsistency they're having. But like I said, the point of inconsistency, the definition of an inconsistency is of course you can be playing really, really well, but also get some really sort of frustrating results on the side. But with the Portsmouth side on form and playing their best football, there's no doubt a fantastic side in there. They've got quality and they've got a really, really good set of players. And like I said, management as well. Such a well-organised side. We look at Shrewsbury when the odds are 21-10. The expected chance of winning is 32%. But this team actually wins 42% of the time. Interestingly, it's so tight this game that it says that Portsmouth with the odds they've currently got as well, see them at 42% as well. So both sides with these odds they've currently been given by the bookies, see them both win. That's going to make this game really quite interesting to predict and to watch. Portsmouth, though, are the slight favourites in this game. They've got a 41% chance of winning because of these odds. You can probably see that. Again, it comes down to the last 2 games which they won and that league position as well. I do think Portsmouth are going to win this game, but only just. I'm going to go with Shrewsbury 1, Portsmouth 2. A late winner. I'm predicting a late winner from Portsmouth to win this game. Next up, we've got Doncaster against Accrington Stanley. Let's have a look at the league table first. Doncaster currently sat in 23rd in the league in a really quite serious relegation battle. They lost the game, of course, on Saturday. Really quite disappointing for them. They beat Sheffield. They got beaten by Sheffield Wednesday. So not an easy game at all. So not too much of a disappointment in terms of the team they were beaten by. But in terms of just points generally, forget the opposition. It's really important in the situation that a relegation team like Doncaster are in. They need to get some points. And a game against Accrington at home on Tuesday night, they really could have a chance. They really, really could have a chance. You don't really know what a win could do for a side like Doncaster. You get a win, you try and get some momentum. It's important because they've had wins in the last 5 games. They've just struggled to take a win and build momentum off it. And that is really, in a relegation battle like Doncaster find themselves in at the moment, going to be so, so important. Get a victory, get a big statement win and try and build off that. Much easier said than done, of course, but it's really quite important. When you get the win, you back it up. Like I said, the last 2 games they've won in their last 5 games, they haven't backed up with wins. They won won one, then they lost two, then they won one, they lost on Saturday. So it's really, really quite important that a home game against Accrington, which no means is going to be, it doesn't mean anything really, but it's going to be really important they try and back themselves up. Now, the thing with Accrington is they lost on Saturday as well. So both sides come into this game with defeats, which makes this game even more interesting. Who needs this win more? Definitely Doncaster. Accrington might have some minor aspirations for the playoffs this season. I doubt it. They are quite a fair way off. But like I said, Accrington are a real banana skin side against some of the top teams. Are they going to be a banana skin side when they face Doncaster on Tuesday? We'll have to wait and see. But it's going to be really quite fascinating this one. Like I said, Doncaster needed it more because of the relegation battle they currently find themselves in. When we look at the odds then, Doncaster, when the odds are 11-4 that they are for Doncaster, the expected chance of winning is 27%. But this team only wins 24% of the time. They've got an odds of 1-1. The expected chance of winning is 50%. But this team actually wins 47% matches with these odds. So it's going to be really quite interesting. It's really, really going to be quite interesting, this one. 24%, 47% these teams actually winning with these odds. Both teams winning less in terms of percentage when the odds are like they are as well. So they are slightly underachieving compared to the odds that they are sometimes given. I do think, though, and I'm going to back Doncaster in this game. I think the home advantage is so key, and it's been such a significant factor in so many results we've seen this season. I think Doncaster, with the home fans, the significance of this game, get back to winning ways, then try and build on it. I'm back in Doncaster. I'm going to go with Doncaster. So tight, edgy, off the backside, 90th minute, from a corner, 1-0. Doncaster 1, Accrington Stanley 0. Going to be a really quite fascinating game. Huge for Doncaster. Of course, just as significant for Accrington Stanley. But Doncaster need to try and get their way out of the relegation zone they currently find themselves in. A game on Tuesday night. Tomorrow night, it's going to be really, really important to see if they can do such a thing. Next then, we've got Charlton against MK Dons. Charlton comes to this game after a really disappointing home game against Oxford on Saturday, losing 4-0. The heads are down. We heard the boos from Charlton fans in the stadium as well. So the sort of morale at the football club isn't at the highest it's been. You can see why. Look at what they are in the league table. It seems like Charlton should not be 16th in the league. They're a much bigger football club, much bigger history. They've got quality in that squad. They should not be in 16th. 3 defeats on the bounce as well. Not in great form at all. Whereas for MK Dons, it's quite the opposite. Last 5 games doing really quite well. 3 wins. They won again on Saturday, of course, against Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. A huge win as they continue for their push. I guess they're pushing into, or attempting to push into his automatic promotion places. But at the minimum, definitely trying to finish in that top 6 and doing a fantastic job of doing so. Look at these odds as well. Charlton have a 7-2 chance of winning this game, which is a 36% chance. But this team actually wins 41%. Actually, they're doing better with these odds this season. For MK Dons, they've got a very large set of odds, 163 to 100. The expected chance of winning is 38%, but this team actually wins 33% of the time. MK Dons, though, are favourites in this game. And again, due to league position, due to form, you can just see why. But like I said, home advantage is really quite important and will have an influence on all of these games, or probably at least some of the games at the minimum. It's such a difficult game to predict. When you look at that recent form, it really hasn't been good for Charlton. You look at the way they performed against Oxford, it was concerning at points. I was concerned for Charlton, especially when they were 3-0 down, which you can sort of expect being 3-0 down at home. You can see the heads go, and you can see that sort of lack of confidence. But the performance for Charlton, full stop, wasn't great on Saturday, and Johnny Jackson and the people at Charlton and the management, most importantly the players as well, will have to evaluate that performance and sort of go again. They've got a home game though against MK Dons, and it does sort of shout as a big morale booster. You win on Tuesday, tomorrow night, against MK Dons, that can completely change. Now, I don't think we're going to be talking about them finishing in the top 6, being 16th in the league, 10 places off it, but you want to get themselves out of the position they find themselves in. You want to put that end to the rut that they currently find themselves in terms of 3 straight defeats. Having said that, I think it's going to be a draw. I'm going to go the draw, and I'm going to go with 1-1. I'm going to go Charlton 1, MK Dons 1. It's going to be a tight game. It's not just on league position. It's not just on recent form. It's down to a lot of different things. I'm going to go with 1-1 in this game. Next then we've got Ipswich Town against Cheltenham. Ipswich still knocking on the door. We look at that league table for the top 6. 51 points they currently find themselves on. 4 points away from 6th place. Of course, Wycombe in the final spot of those playoff places. Really quite knocking on that door. Look at that recent form as well. The last 4 games, 3 wins and a draw in there as well. But again, a comfortable 3-0 win on Saturday. We look at Cheltenham though. A really quite good side, Cheltenham, this season. Proving to be a real quite difficult game for a lot of teams. They're above Charlton. They're above Lincoln. They're above a lot of teams we didn't expect them to be above of at this point in the season. Enjoying a really good season back in League One. Last 5 games as well, their form's been really quite good. Unbeaten in at least 5. We look at the last chunk of 5. They are unbeaten. 3 draws and 2 wins in there. A draw, of course, on Saturday. Like I said, 15th place in the league. Really quite respectable finish. And again, Ipswich, it's not going to be a walk in the park for them on Tuesday, tomorrow night. But like I said, Ipswich have aspirations to get into the top 6. A bit of a strange season for Ipswich. I also want to have a look at these recent games as well. Of course, Ipswich, their win against Burton was a 3-0 win on Saturday. They drew 5-5 Cheltenham with Wycombe on Saturday. What an incredible game for Cheltenham. Alfie May scoring 4 goals in that one. They're going to come into this game now thinking, we can give anybody a game. You can give Wycombe a game, which are the most difficult places to go, away from home. I think you can give anyone a game. They're going to go to Portman Road on Tuesday, tomorrow night. I think they're going to be really quite an interesting force to watch against. 10 goals they're involved in on Saturday. They're probably not going to be expecting that many goals or that many. Or Alfie May probably is expecting to score 4 goals again, but it's going to be certainly quite interesting. You look at their mentality going into this game. Going to be fascinating. But like I said, both sides unbeaten in quite a few games and enjoying, again, a really quite interesting end to this season. Cheltenham are going to be comfortable, I think. I don't think they're going to get relegated, and fair play to them. They're doing a fantastic job this season. For Ipswich, they have large aspirations in what's been quite a strange season to finish in that top 6. Can they do it? Well, a win on Tuesday will be really quite helping in that sort of cause. We look at Ipswich when the odds are 7-10. The chance of winning is 59%. This team actually wins 50% of the time. It's going to be close. It's going to be really quite close. You look at the odds 7-10 for Ipswich to win this game, 9-2 for Cheltenham winning this game as well. Really quite interesting. Ipswich are the favourites. I'm going to go with an Ipswich win here. I'm going to go with an Ipswich win, and I'm going to go with 3-1 in this game. Although Cheltenham comes to this game really quite in probably high confidence after coming back 3 times. I think it's twice actually, and getting a draw 5-5 against Wycombe. I think Ipswich, so they have really quite a clear goal to finish in that top 6, a home game. I can see them winning this game. Like I said, I'm going to go 3-1. But, don't write Cheltenham off. They've done really good this season. And, again, they've beaten some really quite top sides. So, I'm going to go 3-1 to Ipswich, though, in this game. Next then, we've got Bolton against Lincoln City. Let's have a look at the league table first. Bolton comes to this game with a win, a 4-0 win against AFC Wimbledon on Saturday. Lincoln City had their game against Fleetwood postponed on Saturday. The time before that, though, they lost to Doncaster. Like I said, they were 23rd in the league. I've already touched on them. They lost to them 1-0 at home. So really quite disappointing result for this Lincoln City side, who are 17th in the league table, not enjoying the best of campaigns. Like I said, Bolton still trying to push and put a late push in for promotion. It's going to be really quite interesting if they can do that. A bit of a hiccup in the road against Burton last Tuesday. Now, tomorrow, they're going to be hoping to get back to winning ways on Tuesday nights, after, of course, backing up a really comfortable 4-0 win against AFC Wimbledon tomorrow. So it's going to be really quite intriguing. If we look at the bookies and see what they've got to say, when the odds are 91 to 100, they are for Bolton for this game. The expected chance of winning is 52%. This team actually wins 45% of the matches with these odds. Lincoln City are 3-1 in this game. The expected chance of winning is 25%. This team wins 25% of the time with these odds. So Bolton Wanderers, they are the favourites in this game. You can see why. So going to be quite interesting though. Going to be really quite intriguing, this sort of game. I do back Bolton though. Although they had a disappointing result against Burton on the last Tuesday. You can see here with the form, they've been on a really good run, beating Oxford, Charlton, Cambridge, Sunderland so heavily, Shrewsbury, Ipswich. And then, of course, back to winning ways last Saturday. I think it's going to be a really quite not comfortable Bolton win, but I think it's going to be a win. I think it's going to be, I'm going to say fairly comfortable. I'm going to go with Bolton 3, Lincoln City 1. I'm going to go with, Bolton 3, Lincoln City 1 in this game. Bolton continue on their late charge for promotion to finish in that top 6. I think they're going to do it comfortably by beating Lincoln City 3-1. Finally, then, we've got Wycombe Wanderers against Wigan Athletic. Wigan, of course, coming to this game second in the league. A draw, actually, at the weekend. Wycombe, they also come with a draw. A very different draw. 5-5 for them on Saturday. Absolutely unbelievable. Of course, Rotherham against Wigan finished 1-1. So Wigan probably be taking that sort of 1-1 draw. They probably would be fairly happy with that result. Wycombe drawing 5-5 against Cheltenham. Like I said, a very, very different type of draw for them. Absolutely all over the shop. Winning twice, 3-1 up at one point, and ending, like I said, 5-5. Absolutely unbelievable. A really, really probably quite strange afternoon for Wycombe fans. We look at the odds for this game, though. Wycombe Wanderers are 19-10. Expected chance of winning is 34%. This team actually wins 27% of matches with these odds. Wigan 31-20, 39% with these odds usually. They win 42%. Of course, there's a specific Wigan side with those odds. So Wigan, they are the favourites. Only a few percentage and only a few odds separate them, actually edge them towards a win, Wigan. But again, the league position is going to help. The last 3 games, 2 wins and a draw against league leaders Rotherham last weekend. Wycombe, not in great form, and we talk about someone that want to finish in that top 6. It's not going to be easy to get back to winning ways on Tuesday night tomorrow against Wigan, but you can see that they really, really do need to. Like I said, that league table does see them still they are in the playoffs. They do see themselves still there, but those last 5 games, they haven't been good enough. They have definitely seen a drop off. They need to get back to winning ways. They need to get back some sort of momentum if they are going to charge themselves back in to the higher end of these playoff places, because they're really not quite comfortable. They're only in there because of goal difference at the moment. Sheffield Wednesday and Sunderland both on the same amount of points as them. So it's going to be really, really quite interesting, this game. A really, really interesting Tuesday night game for Wycombe against Wigan. In terms of my prediction, I am going to go the Wigan win. I'm going to go with 1-0 to Wigan away from home. They're going to certainly take that. For Oxford, if we are talking about potentially an auto-promotion push, I can't really see it. 9 points off it. With Wigan have got a lot of games in hand. Maybe for a lot of teams, even for MK Dons as well, they'll probably take a draw in this game, or probably a draw in this game is quite comfortable for the other teams in the league. If Wycombe win, that sort of pushes them back up. Again, if MK Dons win or Oxford win, it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to go with the Wigan win this game. Away from home, Wycombe 0, Wigan Athletic 1. I can see it. Away from home, it wouldn't be a good result for Wycombe, because that means that they're unbeaten. Sorry, their wait without a win will have to continue. But I'm going to go with Wycombe 0, Wigan Athletic 1. And that wraps up every single game for tomorrow's fixtures in League One. Some huge games, some very, very significant games in Sky Bet League One. A full schedule on this Tuesday night, other than one. I think one game has been postponed. I think the Fleetwood game has been postponed. But other than that, a full schedule in League One. Some significant games in that division. Cannot wait for it. Cannot wait for a really, really exciting set of games. If you enjoyed this episode of the podcast, please make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your predictions for the teams as well? I've been intrigued to see what you've got to say. Until next time, stay safe, take care, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Thanks for the continued support, by the way. It's been absolutely brilliant. See you in a bit.